Welcome. BitmonkeyTV. This is a segment of Creative Thursdays. Take 3, I believe. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry about this Tuesday. I had just some personal matter to attend to. So I couldn't record that tech tip, but I promised to bring it back next week, and we're going to do at least like an hour long. There's a lot of different topics I want to cover. I want to get into wallet security. I want to get into walking you through my favorite wallets to use, as well as just things to think about, right? That way you're not that person who's on the other end with the short end of the stick, meaning you buy into whatever that DM is saying or whatever that scam is trying to reel you in through. It's really easy to get caught up in that FOMO and that acting quick but without thinking, right? So I want to help prevent that. I know it's getting very repetitive, but I feel like we can't say it enough. You know, anybody who's putting out content, I love that everybody's hammering in on this. Just please do not hand out your seed phrase. Do not give out your seed phrase. Do not store it digitally. And today we're gonna show you how I created an IG reel for that very topic. So let's get on into it. So I first created last night before I went to bed, I created this 1:1 ratio of this notepad. And what this notepad does is it writes out with typewriter text, I will not give out my seed phrase, over and over and over and over again, right? Until you get to the bottom of the notepad. I got this idea because I had been seeing all of this content being put out by everybody else. And I'm like, ooh, Bart Simpson, ooh, like drawing on the chalkboard. But I didn't want to, reuse some of Simpson's work, with the animation with Bart in there and then changing the text. I didn't know if I was going to get one of those notices, copyright issues. So I decided to just go to Canva, which has been an easy way to pump out micro content. And I created, an IG 1:1 ratio. And then Jeremy, shout out Jeremy Charles Hone, gave me an idea to do an IG Reels because it allows it to start playing automatically in a story. The ratio's better. I didn't know this tip, so this is pretty sweet. I'm gonna start doing more IG reels for sure. But this is what I've come up with so far. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play it for you, and then I'll kind of show you the steps I took to create it. And I think I'm gonna change a friendly reminder to capiche ? You know what I mean? Like something like challenging, not necessarily a call to action, maybe a call to action on your own thought process, right? Challenging your own thought. I'm gonna pop back over. So thank you, one viewer, for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all on maybe a piece of creative that you want to create that you're having troubles with, I'd be happy to help. I'd be happy to shed some light. So I'm just gonna walk through, for the sake of this video and this take of Creative Thursdays, the steps that I took. So the first thing was finding a notepad, right? Started with a blank canvas. Found a notepad here through searching through elements along the left hand side. Now keep in mind, I do have the pro. I think I pay like $12 a month or something. I forget the number, but it's a fair subscription for the convenience of being able to do this anywhere. All you got to do is upload your media, or you can use, you know, all of their media. As long as you're paying for it, there's no issues on reusing it with your creative. So let's get into it. I just searched notepad here. And I'm pretty sure if you look, this should be the second one. If we place it, it should look identical. You see there? I did want to stretch it out initially and maybe make it longer, but this gave me an opportunity on this IG reel. It was perfect for the 1-to-1 ratio post, right? It fit right in the middle. But on this, I had a little more canvas, right? So ended up putting in this sweet new logo that we're rocking for now as our primary logo. Shout out to Scott Barrero, second lead monkey here at Monkey Bites. He's a part of BitMonkey Studio. He's the creative genius behind a lot of what you see with all of the generations being released and all of the creative output here. So really appreciate his input, and he did such a great job on this pixel art. So shout out Scotty B. Let's play it one more time for you. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I'm not going to put any music. Whoever's watching, I'd love to hear your thoughts. This wasn't intended to have music. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just say it over and over again and then clip my voice to it. Giving me a thought here. Now, to edit each element, you place it on here, right? You saw how I dragged the element on here. I then created a text box. So I went over here to text. I think I grabbed subheading or heading, and then I adjusted the font. I made it bold. I adjusted the spacing a little bit and the width from row to row. And that's all done through this little box right here. I guess I didn't adjust the spacing on this one, just the line spacing between lines. I must have done it down here. I did it up here. So I did edit this text up here. You'll find that I adjusted the spacing as well as the line height. I guess I didn't do the spacing there either. What the heck is going on here? Maybe because it's grouped. And I do like to group them. So one little tip here is when you group these elements and then grab the group and animate, instead of animating separately or maybe having one of those elements being fixed on the canvas, it'll grab everything in this group and animate it accordingly. I did block text. I like to keep the white text blurb fixed here, as well as the notepad. You'll notice that when the scene starts, those are fixed, and it's for a purpose, right? I didn't want to fade them in, because if I try to fade them in, the text will start writing before the fade's complete. It looks funky. Plus, this is the point of the message, right? It's not to show off the creative. It's to add a little spunk to it, right? I'm having a little monkey bite with a little text blurb saying, repeat after me. That animates in, but immediately that notepad is that center. It's that centerpiece. It's the focus of this entire creative. And it's to remind you what I opened up the episode with. I will not give out my seed phrase. I will not give out my seed phrase. I will not give out my seed phrase. Not even to your mom, okay? Nobody. I will not give out my seed phrase. I will not give out my seed phrase. Repeat after me. I will not give out my seed phrase. So, yeah, that's essentially what we did. And then this one here, I used this glow. Generally, I like to mess with my own text, but I really wanted to get something that popped. And I'm not really set on it. I might move to something else, but you see the options here. So not only can you add your basic text, but if you have the Pro, they do have free options, but they're very limited. And as you continue to scroll, you'll see there's certain Pro options, and it just allows you, if you're not the type who wants to spend the time to learn Photoshop. I know enough to get myself in trouble, right? I'll do frame animations. I love it for pixel art. But when it comes to pumping out content like this, I think there's no better tool than Canva right now for the convenience factor of how everything is right here. And you get so many ideas as you scroll. Like maybe you want to go with a different type of text. Maybe you want to go with a different style, a different theme after seeing this type of text. You want to go with like some type of background that mimics an alleyway in like some fucking, what's that called? Cyberpunk's 2077 video game. You know what I mean? Create the canvas around the text, like make it all pulled together. I decided to go with this orange background. This is Bitmonkey's color. It's F7941D. Yeah, F7941D. That's my hex code. It's not patented or anything. I don't think you can do that. I don't mind sharing it, but it's just my favorite orange. It's got a nice vibrant orange to it. It fits well with this bright green. But I think I'm gonna go to Capiche here. Capiche. Did I spell that right? Maybe there's a C in there. Let's go double check. Capiche? No. No, there's no H. Just copy that. Nice little way to confirm your spelling's correct, because that's one negative. So Canva, you guys need to step up your game. One thing I don't like about this is it does not do spell check. So double check your creative. If you're using this for presentations, which I was first recommended to use because there was a lot of ideas, right? And then I switched over to Google Slides. But I noticed that, you know, it will not catch your typos. So double check your text. I'll pop back over. Hey, 2 viewers, shout out. I hope you're getting value from this. I mean, I'm just showing you guys how to create an IG reel real quick. And this is just a reminder, do not hand out your seed phrase. Please repeat after me. I will not give out my seed phrase. I will not give out my seed phrase. It's really quite simple. Yeah, I like Capiche. It's got some attitude to it. Maybe it's going to be too much, but maybe most won't understand what this word is, but I feel like it's pretty universal. Just with my exposure to my friends in Europe and South America, I feel like everybody knows this word, like capiche. You know, everybody's seen a movie where they say capiche. Yeah, like it. And then you saw that block text. So I didn't want to write out all the text. So on this one, I just chose a block, which does this really cool block animation. I forget what I did. Oh, this is the neon glitch. So if you guys notice some other creative we made the background the same as monkeybytes.io's website. And it's just, you know, I think I put a black block rectangle over it with 77% opacity. Go figure. I'm sure you're not surprised with that. But that allowed me to tint that original layer. I know there's other ways of doing it, but that's how I've learned to do things. And then we threw that on there with like a neon glitch. I thought it was really cool because we're going to keep that feel on the website for now. Which, by the way, we got 2.0 rolling out here pretty soon. You know, I know we're ahead of schedule on that, but I'm getting very excited to make public some pages that we've been working on to go more in depth on the short-term, long-term tokenomics, as well as getting a few other things in order for the Artist Fund, the Animal Shelter, as well as the Academy. They're going to have their own little section on the site going more in depth, essentially breaking down that white paper and then some, prepping you for more documentation that we're releasing by the end of the year. So yeah, I hope you guys found this valuable. I'm going to pop back over to the chat. Yeah, appreciate you guys viewing. And that's it. That's how I made a piece. We're going to download. It's going to give you an MP4 format. And as you can see, I must have pulled this template from something else. So this is called Orange Retro Mindfulness and Yoga Mobile Video. So I honestly just went in to go grab the canvas I wanted, a blank canvas with a color. And then I deleted all the other elements and did my own thing. So I should probably call this MBT C call to action in a way. Capiche? Get it? So this is going to try to download. If you ever lose that window, you guys saw how I did prompt the download. I didn't know this for a while, but down here to the bottom right hand side of your screen, you'll see this little animation. You can click on it and it'll show you all the downloads, and you can queue multiple downloads. So let's say you have multiple slides, right? You're creating different IG reels on the same document within Canva, because you can do that. It'll loop it together if you save all of the pages together. But for example, if you just wanted to create separate reels on one file here without having to jump between tabs, just create multiple pages within that file, that canvas, that same exact canvas. I guess that's one caveat there. If you want to do different canvas sizes, that's where you would have to create a whole new tab and create a whole new canvas with a whole new file name. So, but it's just a really easy way to pump out creative. I'll give you a little sneak peek into what I do for our IG posts. So I got this one. It started out as a Monday template, but I adopted it into an every day of the week template. You'll see I have tons of pages here because I like to keep reference of previous posts. That way, if I need to go back, make any minor alterations, I can. I do eventually cycle through because I don't want to save every single one because that'll bog down. It's not going to bog down your site or your browser or anything like that, but there is a limit onto how much you can store on Canva. So it will eventually notify you, like saying, hey, this file is fucking huge, like delete it. It probably won't specify the file specifically, but it'll just say your account's reaching its limit. So be mindful of that. But as you can see, I have this fixed template, and this is a video module that's cropped a certain way, but then the video itself we can adjust. So I usually pull it out so you don't see the canvas anymore. I know back in the day I did have that border in there, but I kind of like how it flows on the Instagram page when you pull the video out. And you can adjust it accordingly. Like I remember once I pulled this all the way out to where this was maximized because that was the only good clip for that verbiage that was said on that episode. So, but you can manipulate this so much. Each one of these are text modules. They all animate, and I'll just show you. It's probably going to try to prepare all of them.
Supporting the artist community that I come from, a photographer.
And I just pump these out week after week, right? I first go in and I'll watch the previous episode in full through VLC Media Player. I'll clip parts of it because there's a record button. I can record, non-record, record, not record, and that clips from start to finish as you're watching it. And then I rename the file, whatever the clip, whatever the caption is for that clip, or whatever I think idea-wise on the creative front we're going to execute on. I'll just name it on the file. Keeps it nice and simple and easy. For when I'm uploading that file to Canva, I work file by file. So I upload that file, I read the file name, I'm like, okay, rewatch it really quickly to double check, and then I create that piece of creative. You'll see there's a template for that little middle piece on our IG too. Same thing. So the video is cropped a certain way to fit this kind of like mobile phone, almost like template here. We have some text. This usually has episode number. I think I was making this for seed phrase, but then I got the idea to do this one. So I ended up going with this one instead and switching that up. If you guys go to our Instagram, Bitmonkey Studio, you'll see it's the second most recent post. But I'm about to post this on our IG reel, but I think I'm going to call it an episode. Yeah, I love it. Hey, Greek, thanks for tuning in. So moving forward, what I want to start doing is I was talking to a good friend of mine. I'm helping her build a website. And my gift to, she's the wife of one of my good friends from college, right? He's homie, Sean Fuller, shout out. They got married, right? And I gave him a little gift, cash, but then I also wrote a little note, whenever you're ready for both of you, whenever you start your business, whenever you want to build your website, my gift to you on top of this is I'll give you my time and we'll execute. We'll get you a strategy in place. We'll set you up with a logo, and then I'll teach you how to maintain everything, and then I'll help when I can, but then you take it from there type of thing. So we've been working together, talking usually once a week, sometimes once every other week. And she's adapted her business model quite a bit, right? She originally had one name, and we were working on this site for one name, and she changed her model. She actually found her niche through working, you know, just through figuring it out, coming up with these things, spending the money on the domain, and then realizing, I have a unique niche over here, and I really want to, you know, I finally figured it out. I want to focus on my niche. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through our process of finishing up the website next week. We were going to try to make it happen for today's episode. She's starting her own channel, and she was talking about how she just overcame the fear of putting herself on camera and becoming comfortable with it. And I was like, well, fuck, if you're down, let's finish your website on our Creative Thursdays for BitmonkeyTV. And she's like, fuck yeah. I think she was kind of hesitant at first, but willing, you know, so I'm stoked. And I'm thinking moving forward, we're going to make this a theme. I'm going to focus it around websites, around my skill sets, around the way I've learned, right? I know there's a lot of different ways and methods to build a website. I primarily use WordPress and Divi. Divi's a theme builder. It's a very advanced theme that you can customize and manipulate to recreate any website out there, right? It's the way I learned, and I love it when I'm building them for clients because they can manage it themselves moving forward, especially after a 90-minute walkthrough and a few follow-up calls where I remote into their system and walk them through, oh, this is how you change the text without fucking up the spacing of this, you know, section. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to go more in depth on those, and just I'm going to help people with the time I have here, right? Outside of this show, giving me homework, it's going to be tough. But I would love anybody wanting to build a website. Maybe you want to build a landing page. Maybe you already have your infrastructure set up. Maybe you want to learn how to create a landing page, from purchasing the domain to deploying it. I'd love to help you walk through, and we can do it with your content, with your site. That way we're killing two birds with one stone. We're showing the audience, giving them something valuable, while also executing on your creative and teaching you at the same time. So that's going to be the flow of these episodes. I know I've kind of teased maybe to do a collab with Jeremy, but I know he's busy. So that may or may not happen. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And if it does, it'll probably be like a once a month type of thing. So shout out Jeremy, everything you're doing. I'm so stoked for you. I can't wait to connect with you and talk about that website. Making some good progress on our end. So but as you could imagine, I've been busy too, so I've been trying to time block my time properly to make sure my priorities are in order, you know what I mean? So, but I love doing this. I love helping others on the creative front. I love giving away this knowledge and this audience, you know? So really appreciate everybody tuning in. This has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV, Creative